They're the digital disruptors grown up online, and they're here to shake things up. And now these 18 to 25-year-olds are ditching playing hard to get, with no more ghosting, orbiting, benching, breadcrumbing, zombieing, or the slow fade.
Breadcrumbing, it's where somebody is keeping you hanging there like a little fish waiting to be fed with some bread. Zombieing is when somebody ghosts you completely, but then they come back from the dead.
I've been ghosted before.
I haven't ghosted anyone, but I have been.
Sadly, ghosting happens quite a bit in my life.
I'm probably a bit too upfront for people.
You just got to roll with the punches, you know. Get back on that horse.
Where are they?
For these digital natives, it's about openness, honesty, and prioritising mental well-being for both parties. Authenticity's key, people.
Gen Z, they don't want to take shit anymore, and I think that has a lot to do with the world we live in now.
Nearly 80% of young Tinder users reply to a crush within 30 minutes.
Guys, I've got tax.
40% reply within 5 minutes.
Got tax.
Message!
And 1 in 3 message back straight away.
Read it.
I'm about to read it!
As a result, Tinder believes Generation Z will have the most successful and long-lasting relationships yet. Personally, I'm not so sure about everyone in the dating world being so nice to each other. Do we really want them to go from scenes like this?
You're a giant red flag.
You just suck the life out of me.
You are a horrible person.
To pure Gen Z wholesomeness.
I will always present my true self and be completely honest with you.
Oh, Kate, that validates me so much.
And I really respect you asking me out. I just admire someone who is trying to bat outside their league.
Ouch. So could we all learn a thing or two about dating from Gen Z?
I do believe being a little bit selective and really knowing what you want is what's going to lead to a positive relationship and a healthy relationship. I don't think that's rocket science.
Writer Michael Sun is a member of Generation Z and he joins us now. Michael, is this true? Is Gen Z more careful and kinder in the online dating world?
I feel like, I don't know if kinder or more careful are the words that I'd personally use. I definitely feel like, you know, Gen Z is a generation that has had the most experience with online dating by far. And maybe this is like very embarrassing to say on television, but I've been on Tinder personally since literally high school when they had Tinder for teens.
Tinder for teens? Is that a thing?
I've never heard of Tinder for
It was
teens.
truly a bad choice on my part. I hope to never revisit that experience again. But I do feel like, you know, dating apps have been a part of our lives and our generation's lives since as long as we can remember. So I think that Gen Z definitely, you know, has a more, or I guess a greater fluency when it comes to these apps. And I do think that there is this influx of people who have seen the detrimental effects of ghosting others or what being ghosted feels like. And I think that there is kind of this groundswell of people who are turning against that just because of how many negative experiences we've had ourselves or have been portrayed or have happened to our friends.
Michael, no matter what language you couch it in, rejection is still rejection though, right?
Absolutely. And rejection is always going to hurt. I think perhaps if there's one thing that Generation Z and younger people do have when it comes to dating is this treasure trove of knowledge online and through just the breadth of dating experiences that people are now able to have through online dating. I think you definitely have more of a repository of how to deal with rejection and how to reject kindly.
One aspect of the report that's interesting is this trend of dry dating, so going on alcohol-free dates. What's that about?
Well, you know, we talked a lot about, in the media especially, about how Gen Z is becoming quite quickly the most sober generation. I've recently become sober as well after a very long stint with drinking on every single date at every single occasion. I do feel like people are choosing perhaps to go on sober dates because they're realizing that it's a way of seeing someone for maybe who they actually are outside of the rose-tinted lenses of alcohol, right? You know, we all know that a drunken date can be one of the most fun dates, I'll admit that, but then you might not actually get to know who they are underneath your own haze of fun and being tipsy. So I think perhaps this rise in sober dating has to do with people actually wanting to find a real, genuine connection.
But Michael, you've been in a relationship for over a year now.
I have indeed.
Well, how did you meet?
We actually did meet on both Tinder and Hinge, you know, which is basically marriage nowadays. It's a love story for the ages.
Wow.
How come you're on both? Yeah, how come you're on both apps?
Honestly, because it was lockdown, I was so desperate. I was swiping my way through, God knows how many people. And then a stroke of luck brought us together on both apps. We just couldn't keep away. So both apps came into the mix. We got talking and then met up in real life.
I love that.
Yeah, I feel like Gen Z's got a lot to teach us. What do you think? It's lovely.
Not that much.
No, I don't feel it.
No, not that much to teach us, Michael. Sarah can calm down.
Hey, Michael, thank you so much for your insights and good luck with the relationship.
Thanks for having me.
Does anyone meet face to face anymore, or has that just completely been eradicated
Remember
because of
having
that?
to wait by the home phone for that special someone to call?
Oh, it was
I don't
a
remember
thrill.
that.
And then discovering that your sibling is on it, was
Yeah,
engaged,
that's
and they
it.
couldn't get through.
That's it.
Yeah.
But mind you, that said, I don't think I've ever been invited on a date. Do you know what I mean? Like
We just went
properly.
on a date in that package.
That's right. But you didn't ask me. I kind of forced my way in. But you know what I mean? Like to be asked on a date. I don't think
But
I
what
ever
do you
have
mean?
been.
You mean you
well,
were the
I've just
one-
met people through work or travelling together or.
So did you have... But are you saying there was an ambiguous thing where it wasn't clear if it was a date or
Well,
not?
I think people think now, I think Gen Z thinks, everyone asks people on dates, but I don't think it necessarily happened
I
like
once
that.
built, years ago when I was single, I built up over a year. I was going to a gym and I had a crush on a girl that worked behind the counter, and I built up the courage over 12 months to ask her on a date. And we went on a date. We both hated each other, and then I had to join a new gym.
Maybe you should have been building your biceps.
Yeah, well, okay. Yeah, well, all right, Sarah Harris, that's weirdly what she said as well.